Now the iPhone 12 has a dual camera setup, a 12 megapixel wide, 12 megapixel ultra wide. The iPhone 8 just has a 12 megapixel wide angle lens. And I think for sure when it comes down to it, it's pretty obvious the iPhone 12 is going to have more capability. The features, you're also getting portrait mode on this phone. You can do 4K at 60 on both cameras on the back camera, but the iPhone 8 does have a little bit of an issue with the front camera. You can only do 1080p on this front-facing camera. The iPhone 12, you can actually do 4K at 60. And I think that's a pretty big deal and a pretty big difference to even go from an iPhone 12 to an iPhone 8 just based off that. In terms of features and everything, they're probably going to be more or less the same, but like I've stated before, it's a pretty big deal for the front-facing cameras in my opinion. I like having a better front-facing camera. I would rather have both a better front-facing and back-facing camera. You're getting that on the iPhone 12, but definitely when it comes down to both these, you're getting a better camera overall on the iPhone 12. I don't think the iPhone 8's camera is old or outdated or anything like that. I think this camera is still completely still valid and it's still, worth it in my opinion. But the front-facing camera is one of those areas that I really do appreciate the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro and all these phones getting a better front camera for sure. But even if you look at a phone like an iPhone 11 Pro, for example, you could still do 4K at 60 on that front-facing camera. So it's not necessarily that I'm just saying the iPhone 12 has the best camera. It probably does, in terms of an iPhone. But definitely when it comes down to both these, the iPhone 12 with that additional ultra-wide sensor is really cool. It just adds a little bit more capability. Of course, the 12 Pro has a better camera because of that telephoto lens and the LiDAR sensor. But this camera, I think, is really, really good for the most part, too. And I think a lot of people, in my opinion, are probably going to go from the iPhone 8 to the iPhone 12. They're definitely going to notice a better camera for sure. So in terms of camera, that pretty much covers it up. Now,